All right, we're just waiting for a few people to come in. I already see we have a few participants. Welcome and hi. And I am about to show you guys my screen. But come in. Please, as you guys come in, make sure that your mics are mute so that we can hear our presenters for today as well as our keynote. So as you guys come in, just make sure that you guys mute your mics. All right, I see a few more people coming in. We're going to give it about a minute and then we're going to get started. Just want to make sure, Momo, can you hear me? And Kembe, can you hear me as well as everybody else?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, perfect. All right, so I'm just going to share and then we can get started. Kembe, I think you are on mute. All right. Okay, we've got a few participants in. I'm just going to let a few more people trickle in because we've definitely had a lot of questions over the past few weeks, and we just want to make sure that everybody who has questions is able to get them answered and is able to get their application done before the deadline. And so just as we are waiting for a few more people to come in, maybe I'm just going to ask a question to both project lead and Kembe as well. What is one thing that you guys think is exciting about the Standard Chartered Women in Tech program?
Okay, well, I have a whole lot to say about the Women in Tech program, but one of the things I think is really, really exciting for me is to just see women step that essentially wasn't deemed very female to do. So that's exciting for me because I think it's important for us to break glass ceilings. So I think this is what this program is going to do. So that's one of my many one of the many stuff I have on my list about this program, but that one is I think probably the biggest one that comes up for me, well, top of mind anyway.
Okay, awesome. Momo, maybe we can hear from you as well about what's exciting about this project, and even maybe a little bit of why Bongo Hive wanted to jump on and partner with Standard Chartered to bring this to Zambia for the first time.
Um, Hi, thank you, Mwape. I think I'm really excited about this program because I would like to see, I feel like there's not a lot of women that are profiled out there in terms of what they're doing in business and entrepreneurship. So I'm very excited to see the different types of women that will be taking part or even just applying, all the ideas that these women have, and just the variety, and just to see, which direction we're going as women in entrepreneurship. And as you know, as many may know, Bongo Hive does work to help entrepreneurs throughout their entrepreneurial journey from idea to investment readiness stage. And I think for a while, there are not a lot of programs like this for women, or there's not a lot, we don't see, or there's not a lot of women coming up. Although at women, even in terms of employment and our staff, there is, almost a 50-50 split, and we have a lot of women as well that take part in our program. So we just felt like we could partner with Standard Chartered, who are interested in working with women and empowering women in business. And this is what also Bongo Hive is used to doing and working with women. We have the expertise, we enjoy doing it, and we enjoy seeing women also flourish and filling in the gaps also in the ecosystem.
Definitely, I agree, and I think it's really exciting just to be able to partner with Standard Chartered that has such a great track record, because this program is coming to Zambia for the first time, but it has been successful in just all these other places, Nigeria, Kenya, UAE, and so it's really fascinating and just, yeah, exciting to be able to partner with Standard Chartered. I think we can maybe go ahead and begin so that we can make sure that there's enough time for questions. I'm just going to remind you guys that as you come into the room, just make sure that your mics are muted so that we are able to hear the speakers. And so I'm sharing my screen. Kindly let me know when you are able to see it.
Oh, hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Mwape seems to have dropped off the call. I will pick up from here as she tries to rejoin. Thank you. Let me just share my screen. Thank you very much for joining us today. Um, Let me just share my screen and our presentation for today. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us for the Standard Chattered Women in Tech Incubation Program information session today, the 26th January 2021. Please follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can also join us today live as well. We're also live on Facebook at the moment. This is Mwape Monakatwe, our moderator, but I'll be standing in for her as she tries to reconnect. So our program for today, there'll be a few welcome and introductions that were already done by Mwape. Followed by that, I will have a keynote speaker, Kiembe Kielusanza from Standard Chattered. And then I will take you through the application process for the Standard Chattered Women in Tech program. Then we'll have Simunza, the Director of Entrepreneurship at Bongo Hive, sharing with us some insights on how women can use technology to leverage, how women can leverage technology for business growth. And finally, we'll end with a question and answer session. Okay, Kiembe, thank you very much for joining us for this session today. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and please tell us a bit about the Standard Chattered Women in Tech program and why Standard Chattered is interested in empowering women in technology.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Mamo. It's always a great experience for me to come here and talk to people who are obviously interested to hear about the Women in Tech program. So just a introduction, and I look after sustainability and community engagement and internal and external comms for the bank. So in terms of how I speak on behalf of the bank with regards to women in tech is because obviously in the area in which we are is that sustainability is a huge part of what the bank does, or as you know, or in all the markets that we operate in. So maybe I can just give a brief background as to why women in tech and to how this all came about. So Women in Tech is basically a part of a global program which we call Future Makers by Standard Chartered. Future Makers is basically the bank's program in which we try to tackle inequality. It's a global initiative essentially to tackle inequality and promote greater economic inclusion. And our tackle equality and economic inclusion is obviously, we do this through our business operations, through our own business, through our community programs, such as the one that we are doing now. Our aim is to raise $50 million at a global level, of course, between 2019 and 2023 to empower the next generation to learn, earn, and grow. And that is basically what underscores Future Makers by Standard Chartered. So Future Makers has 3 pillars, and each pillar has a specific program that runs in it. For the longest time, we've always had a program called GO, which sits under our education pillar. GO is basically a program where we help young women, young girls actually, to learn life skills through sport. So that sits under our education pillar. Quite recently, I was so happy to have recently launched in September last year, a program called Youth to Work, where we equip young people, both men and women, with the skills to be job ready. This is with a different partner that we run this program with, but it also runs in Zambia. And finally, the last pillar in Future Makers by Standard Chartered is entrepreneurship. And this is where, as a bank, we felt the best place to go is to start with women. Statistics do show that entrepreneurs, and it could be anything from people who sell clothes, people who sell shoes, food, have boutiques, have mega stores, or are actually just fully fledged business owners. And that's the stats do show that, however, if we go under those lines, we can actually see that women do lack in a lot of ways the financing to drive their businesses as they should. Quite recently, I sat in a different forum where I heard that, you know, in Africa, we were granted lots of money to be invested in the technology sector. And the forerunners for that kind of investment were two male-led technology companies. Now, we're not saying there's anything wrong with the men. We're not being feminists here, but we're just trying to make sure there is the diversity and inclusion which Standard Chartered stands for. So a bit more about the Women in Tech program. For us as Standard Chartered, we felt that this program was going to, of course, tackle the inclusion aspect. It was going to bring the much needed diversity in the technology sector. Essentially, this is a place where we believe we can empower women to have access to financing, to have access to and just networking, which is very important for women as well. So obviously, as Standard Chartered, I mean, you may have heard, we run all our programs with partners. And our partners, in this case, are Bongo Hive, who I feel, and a lot of people will agree with me, are well equipped to deliver the same passion that Standard Chartered Bank has about the program. So Future Makers is supported by the Standard Chartered Foundation. It's a separate charity, although we do raise money for that charity as well. But if you want to know a little bit more about Future Makers, you're welcome to go onto the Standard Chartered website and just /Future Makers. So I won't take too much time because I think I want to leave more time for the questions and for us to tackle the real issues. Once again, I can't wait to see the applicants. I can't wait to see what's going to happen after 31st January when we start to get into the program quite literally and get cracking with it. So that being said, I want to say good luck to everybody. I'm sure I'll come back later, but make the most of this. Let's really cheer ourselves on. If you haven't told a friend yet, what are you waiting for? Tell a friend that you could be a part of a unique program, the first of its kind in Standard Chartered, and even actually just in Southern Africa in the Standard Chartered group itself as well. So guys, this is your chance. Make us proud, and you know what, let's go for it, and let's just make a difference in our communities as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kimbe. All right, so I will proceed in, so just a bit about myself. My name is Momo Muvila, and I'm projects lead at Bongo Hive. And I'll now take you through, I'll give you an overview of what the Standard Chartered Women in Tech Incubator program is about, and also just take you through the application process as well. Okay, so the program will target between 80 to 100 applicants from Lusaka. And this is the phase of the project that we're in right now, the recruitment and selection stage. So out of these 80 and 100 applicants, we'll be choosing 10 participants to go through the program. And this will be done through online applications only on a platform called F6S. So the 10 businesses will then be taken through an incubation period where they'll be having different courses, different modules that they'll have to work through on leadership and entrepreneurship and technology. They'll also be undergoing mentorship, coaching. They'll also be taken through a process of prototyping and designing within their businesses. And this will finally culminate in mock pitches. In the program, there'll be a demo day and an award ceremony where the top 5 businesses from the incubation phase of the project will then be going into the acceleration phase for 5 months. And the top 5 businesses will be winning a prize of $10,000 seed money. Okay, so who's eligible to apply for the program? So you must be a Zambian female founder or co-founder over 18 years of age. You should have equal or majority stake in the business. So, for example, if a business is owned by both co-owned by both a male and a female, the female should have an equal or majority stake in the business. The business should be based and operating in Lusaka, Zambia. The business could either be a tech-based business, so so the business is either already leveraging technology in their business, or if you're not already leveraging technology in your business, you should have a clear need for technology to grow. I think this is a very important point to emphasize, because I've been seeing a lot of women getting discouraged because they think that the program is only for women that are already using technology in the business. That is not true. Even if you have a traditional business and you haven't yet started leveraging technology for your business, you can apply, and you should now start thinking about, how can technology help you grow your business? So the business should be operational for at least between 3 months and 3 years. This is also another point that we just changed recently. So if your business has been operating for a minimum of 3 months to 3 years, you are eligible for this program. As long as you also, as long as you also fulfill the other criteria. So your business should be seeking support for customer, product, and business model development. And we would like to see a maximum of 2 members, preferably the founders, or at least someone in the high level executive suite must be able to attend the incubation program from March to May 2021. And the top 5 winners must be able to attend the acceleration program from July to November 2021. Okay, so how do you apply for this program? The first step is to visit the program website, which is www.scwomenintech.co.zm. The applications were made available from 7th of December, and they're now closing on the 31st of January. So you have just a few more days before the application closes. Okay, so this is the first step of the application process. First, you get onto the website, scwomenintech.co.zm, and you click the Apply Now button that can be seen right here in the middle of the screen. Once you click on that button, you'll be taken to f6s.com, which is the platform that we're using for the applications, to receive applications, and you'll be given these 3 options. So you could either apply, register using your LinkedIn account, if you have one, your Facebook account, if you have one, and if you do not have a LinkedIn or Facebook account, then you can apply using your email. So once you click, for example, and use your email, you will receive this pop-up that says, welcome to F6S. And you can type in your email address, your password, and press continue. So that's what I did here. I typed in my name, my first name, my last name, my email address, and I created a password, and I pressed join, and I was taken to this page. It could look a little overwhelming, but it's not. So on your left-hand corner here, it says apply. So you click on that. So you have the 3 bars here. You have the F6S logo, and then you have the apply button. So click on the apply button. You'll be taken to this page. And since the program is only for participants in Lusaka, you will definitely, if you're in Lusaka, if you're in the vicinity, you will definitely see this option here. Your first option here is Standard Chartered Women in Tech, Lusaka, Zambia. And you'll also be able to see other programs, but the one that we're looking for is Standard Chartered Women in Tech, Lusaka, Zambia. So after you click on that option, you will now be taken to the application page. But before you start your application, here in this yellow box, it says, let's get started. First, you just need to create a page for your company. So you're registering on this platform, so you have to kind of create a profile for your company. And then you'll, so that also, if there are also other programs, you're also able to see them and apply for those as well. So you press on create new, and you create a profile for your company by first entering your company name. So here I just wrote testing info session, but ideally you write your startup or your team name there and press create, and you'll be taken to this page. So you can either just simply close the page, or you can invite people to also apply for the program. So here I write, hi, please join me by applying to the SC Women in Tech Incubator program. So we do encourage you to invite as many female entrepreneurs and founders that you know. Then once you have created a profile for your company, you'll now have access to the application form, which you will now have the opportunity to start filling in. All right, thank you. So You'll be able to ask questions about this, and you also have access to this video once we're done with this program. Okay, so the program key dates. So applications were open in 7th of December. They're closing 31st January 2021. We will begin the shortlisting process from the 1st of February right until the 15th. And we'll be announcing the top 10 shortlisted candidates on the 16th of February 2021. The incubation phase for the program will start on the 24th of March, right up until the 20th of June. Demo day, where the businesses will have an opportunity to pitch, will be on the 24th of June. The award ceremony on 30th of June, and post incubation support starts on the 12th of July, right up until the program ends on the 3rd of November. Okay, so right now I'd like to pass on to Simunza, who's the Director of Entrepreneurship and co-founder of Bongo Hive. Simunza, please share some of your insights and some tips, ideas on how women can use technology to leverage technology for business growth.
Great. Thank you very much, Momo. Thank you, Kembe and Marte, for the great intro to this program. We're excited to be put in a position to work with Standard Chartered to support women who are building businesses. And the key factor here is that when technology comes into play, technology is an opportunity to accelerate the opportunity for you to serve your clients. And you can do this by having a full business that leverages technology from the beginning to be able to then address needs that clients have. Or you can look at your business and look at your customer set and then say to and then realize what the opportunity is to support your clients better by using technology. And living in a time like we are now, I think this is a great time to give thought to that, given how we would be, given the situation that we're in and the limited contact that we now have. This means that a lot of what we understand in how business is operated needs to change, and we need to address that. But also, it's also as entrepreneurs, I think you need to think about what does growth look like for you, and how do you actually get to your customers. So I'd like for you to take an instance, before we talk about tech-based businesses, let's talk about businesses that operate as normal. And think about, I would like for you to imagine a business that actually runs, that you are operating. And as you start to engage your customers, you realize that you go out, you do sales, you get to them, and you begin to engage them, and you're able to supply a product or a service towards them. Now, remember that the product or service that you apply is, for an average service, is what the customer is willing to pay you for. And in doing so, you realize that you're experiencing great growth, but then you're limited by the time that you have, you're limited by the resources, the people that can actually get out there and to engage them. So how much of that can you take and use technology to then give you an interface or a place or a website? It could be a website, it could be a mobile phone technology, it could be it could be a website or mobile phone technology that allows you then to have this interface that allows your customers to then start to engage you and to order the things they like. For example, if you have a brand that is doing well in Osaka, and you're starting to get orders from Kitwe, from Mansa, from outside the country, and you need to be able to get the information that they need to make sure that you can customize and build the product and the brand well to be able to sell to them. Wouldn't technology be an opportunity for you to then have an interface or a website or an app that then allows the people to then make the choice on what it is that they want to buy, to make the decisions? They want it in blue, they would like it in a certain size. They want to make sure that certain things happen to it, and they want to buy 10 of the same thing. And in doing so, that they're able to then make that decision, make the order to you. And once you confirm that you're able to deliver it, again, based on the website, they can make the payment and then find out from you when you're going to make the delivery towards them. And when you think about it, it isn't that hard. I mean, you can make it more complex than that. You can add more functionality to it to serve your customers. Ultimately, at the very end of the day, this is about your customers. If you really think about it, it really is, how can you as a business person use technology to serve your clients better? and in doing so, gain the benefit of increased revenue or increased efficiency in the way that you operate in the way that you operate your business. And when your clients are able to make those orders, are you able then to fulfill that? And there are a number of things that you need to consider that you need to consider. It could be that your business then, in collecting payments, needs to have communication with another company that is able to make that, is able to collect that payment and make sure that money lands in your bank account. So let's say you bank with, for example, Standard Chartered Bank, and as those transactions happen, you want them to be able to make that payment if they use their card or they use mobile money or they use whatever method that they choose to pay, that payment lands in your account. Once you've received that money, you're able to then ship off that goods towards them. But you don't have trucks to make those deliveries, because now you've got a lot of places that you need to be able to deliver to. And you could order another company that then picks up those goods from you, and then and using technology, they can see which goods need to be delivered. They pick up those goods from you and they're able to deliver them on your behalf. So what we're asking you to do here is think outside the box. The opportunity that stands with this opportunity is, we're not saying that you've got everything figured out. We're asking you to at least have thought about it and to share your thoughts with us, and to be able to say within that what it is that you would be able to do with and if it makes sense and it shows that you've actually put some thinking into this, and put some thought into this, and you can actually indicate within there where the advantages are for your business, then you stand a good chance of possibly getting into the program. And then our job then becomes the process of working with you to actualize that dream, the process of working with you over 12 weeks, session by session, coaching moment after coaching moment, focused on your business, to be able to say, who is the customer? How would they then engage? What's their journey? How do they buy from you at the moment? How would then technology now play a significant factor in working with them differently, so that they can then still be able to buy the same thing, still be able to access the same service, and still be able to get towards a delivery, and still get fulfilled and gain the satisfaction that what they paid for, they will receive. And by being able to do that, by being able to work with you, we're hoping that we can help you this year launch an online business that way. And when we select the top 5, then that is what we mean to do by selecting the top 5. By selecting the top 5, we'll then receive $10,000. Is we want to then invest that money into actually now building out these platforms that then help them to actualize that opportunity. Now, not everybody is going to be selling a product. Some people offer services. And in offering services, you will realize that there are lots of opportunities that where services come into play. There are people who offer coaching. There are people who are. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and I was asking him where I could get somebody to talk, where I could talk with a counselor on to talk through to have a conversation around fatigue and mental health and things like that. And he was able to share with me an address for somebody that I could have this session online on. So what if I have a great session and I'm able to help that doctor, that psychologist, that person to then build a website where they can have other people who want to speak to a counselor to be able to do that. So they might not necessarily have a product. They have a service where they can give advice online and they can engage that. So why wouldn't they want to build a platform that helps people to fulfill the whole process of that engagement being done, and being able to get feedback in the process of that? Education is a service. There are people who might want to learn. These days, we are concerned about making sure that people get learning on. Even after children come back from class, there's after class opportunities for them to continue to get engagement and to dig deeper into what they had learned in school, and to get that. So It really is. What we're really asking you to do is think about your business right now and who your customer is. What is the next opportunity to get in to make sure that they can still interact and you can still manage the process to be able to do that, and give this a shot. Because if you don't try, you don't know. And that's the key thing that I want you to think about, is that if you just don't give it a shot, you don't know what your chances are. Now, there's a possibility that you're looking at the number of questions there, and you're like, oh my God, these guys are asking me to put in my sink and the bathtub and everything that I own with regards to the information that they're asking for. And really all we're asking for is basic business information, and we want you to be able to tell us. It's our way of knowing that you're running business. It's our way of knowing where you need help. It's our way of knowing at what stage you are in the business. And we're saying, if you've been operating for 3 months, indicate that you've been operating for 3 months. We're not expecting you to have audited accounts at the end of 3 months, but you're going to be a very different business if you've been operating for 5 years. What we're asking for you, if you've been operating for 5 years, or if we are operating for 2 years, actually 2 to 3 years, is that there's a lot more information that you have around who your customers are and the operations that you've been able to have around there. And still, even at that point, we still want to be able to know if you want to get into the program, what help do you need? Because then there are points that we need to say, okay, great, you need a lot more attention around that. Now, are we expecting you to have the perfect team? No. If you are in a business where you don't have somebody in tech within your business, that's why we have this program, for you to be able to write out a plan by the end of the program to say, by the time I want to launch the tech side to my business, I need to find a developer, or I need to find the following people to be able to run. So don't wait for perfection right now. Is what we're asking you to do is to fill out the application opportunity. And if there's a question that doesn't make sense to you, write to us, contact us. There's a team here that you go back and that there's a team here that is happy and willing to respond to the questions that you have with regards to any points that you have questions that didn't make sense. And the great thing about the F6S platform is that you can stop, pause, and then come back to the F6S platform on the next day, or 2 hours later, or 5 hours later, or a week later. Well, we only have a week, so let's not wait until the weekend. Let's make sure that we can put that in now. Now, there are some that are going to be building. There are some people that are going to be building pure tech businesses, and I left those for the last, because in an age like this, we can't run away from the fact that technology is a factor that we now live with. And technology is a factor that is going to continue to build our economy, and technology is a factor that is building the world that is going to come. And we're encouraging you to apply. We're excited about the opportunity of you saying you have a business that will be able to, you have a completely tech idea that will be able to connect people. That might be able to connect people together, that might be able to get people to buy what they want, and that might be able to complete for certain services. And some of those services might be that people just connect together. I'm trying to resist the urge to give you ideas, because I know that you're way better than I am about actually engaging your customers and getting to what those businesses are. You're on the ground, you know your businesses, you know your customers way better than anybody. It's the question then becomes, what's your idea for growth? What's your dream for growth of your business? And can technology play a part in that growth? And if it can play a part in that growth, can we support you in getting towards that growth? Those are the comments I have, and I am still here. If you have any questions, that's what I came for. I came here for the questions that you may have, so that we can help you to fill out your application forms and get into the program, because it's Zambian businesses that we are focused on, and Zambian businesses that we are eager to get growing. This is why we were excited about the opportunity of working with Standard Chartered Bank on this.
Thank you, Simonza. And actually, on that note, there were a few questions that came in during this application window. And Yeah, so we've put these right here, and you're able to also just address them just right before we get into the actual question and answer session. So the first question here is, how long has your business been in operation? So people would like, or at least someone or a few people would like a bit of an explanation on how to answer that question.
Oh, great. So if your business, so we initially started off with businesses that were running between 1 year and 3 years, and a lot of emerging businesses. We got a response from emerging businesses who said, "Listen, I've got a minimum viable product, meaning they've got something started, they've been around for 3 months, they want to take it into market, but they'd like to participate in the program." So based on that, we said, "Okay, great. Why don't we bring it back to 3 months? Why have we said 3 months? At least at 3 months, we know that you've been in operations. You've got customers. The key thing is that you've got customers, or you've got some level of engagement. You've put in some work since you've had the business registered to get towards a place that you've tested something and you've proved it that it works." We didn't want to just take people who just have an idea. We wanted people to at least say that they've got something and they've got a customer base, even if it's 10 customers and that they've worked with, and they've got something that they've tested that they can bring into the program, and that's who we were encouraged to work with.
All right, and the next question is your business registered with Pakra?
Yes. So there's a huge consideration around whether the business has been registered with Pakra or not, and if you can prove that you have something, so we'll make two considerations. Registering with Pakra is a great thing, and I think yes, especially if we're going to consider who your partners in the business are for the purposes of this. Now remember, when we say the women have to hold more than 50%, we're not saying one woman should hold more than 50%. If you have 2 or 3 female business partners in that business, and combined the women hold more than 50% of the business. So Smunza is a partner in your business and he holds less than 50% of the business, but the other women in the business make up more than 50% of the business. Go ahead, please apply, because then you are women who own more than 50% of the business. Now, should you be registered with Pakra? Yes, for the purposes of saying that you have started the business and the business is operational, you should have been registered with Pakra.
Okay, next is, have you received funding above 5,000 in the last 2 years? So
All right,
how
great.
would you answer that question?
So the question is largely around, we want to get a sense around there as to whether or not you've participated in other programs where you received funding, and if you did so, and that accelerated the growth of your business, then congratulations to you and well done. However, in this circumstance, we think that this is an opportunity to provide an opportunity to other emerging ideas and other emerging businesses, and to support them during the growth of this, to give them attention and resources for their growth as well. If you've previously done so, you should be aiming for higher. You should be aiming for higher amounts.
Okay, and what is your current valuation, and have you fundraised before, and for how much?
All right, great. So with regards to valuation, we understand that is not always something that is. We understand that is not always something that, and we're expecting a guesstimate from a lot of small businesses. Businesses that are fundraising, especially with investors, will likely then have an estimate of their business. But it's also a good time to then also gauge whether or not you have your accounting processes in place. Do you understand how much you sold last year? Do you understand what your costs are? Because then that starts to give us an indication of where your potential growth is, how much money you put into the business. So if you've been diligent with your business and have been paying attention to those things, then you are welcome to apply. Then you're welcome to ask. If you don't know the answer to that, just say you don't know. It's okay to say you don't know.
And second last question here. Have you been in an incubator or accelerator program with the same idea or startup over the last 2 years?
Oh, great. So once again, it's like the previous question with regards to funding. if you have been through an accelerator program or an incubation program with the same idea, then you have received attention and you have received support before. We would like to use this opportunity to support uh, other businesses beyond you, because you, over the last 2 years, ideally gained some support, and you should have shown some growth. Then, and I strongly believe if you do have a good idea, you should be aiming higher and allow this opportunity to support new businesses that are new ideas and new businesses that are emerging.
Okay, and finally, Simonza, could you please elaborate on what is the market opportunity for your product or service?
Great. So what we're looking for with regards to what is the market opportunity for your product, or what is the opportunity for your product or for your service, then within there, what we are encouraging you to do is to give an estimate of where your business should be, and what we're looking for there is what's the definition of your customer, and can you name them? It's My customers are mainly female, and their main desire is the reason why they buy from me is they have this thing that they get solved. I sell food, people get hungry, and then they tend to buy my food over lunchtime. And if the opportunity for growth is that I can replicate this business in another town or in another city or beyond where I am. So think about where the opportunity lies and respond to that.
All right, thank you very much, Simonza. I hope these questions were very helpful for those that needed them answered, and just for anyone that hasn't started the application process, and what you'll find in the form. Okay, so right now we've reached the question and answer stage of the program. I will now hand over back to Mwape to handle these questions coming in from within Zoom, but also those that have joined us on Facebook. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I had a bit of an issue with connection, but that's a great example of women in tech managed to get back on track. One of the great things I think, that I think Simonza said is just basically taking advantage of the time and the season that we are in, and looking at how does tech improve your business, right? So whether it's a service, whether it's a good, how do you reach your customer? How do you transform the way your business operates? And how do you build a brand? You kind of talked a little bit about how some of these different components kind of come together to make a stronger business. And so we're going to take some of the questions that have come in. The first one is, what about, this is from Tamara Kumwenda, and it says, what about if we started a business, everything was in operation, and then the business collapsed, and now we have pivoted? Can we be eligible for the application?
I don't see why not. If the business is still registered and it's operational, it depends on what you mean by saying that it collapsed. So if it collapsed and you wrote off the business, then no. I think failure does happen, and that's all right. The question is, what lessons did we learn from that, and can we build again? So I don't see why you shouldn't be able to. Apply.
Okay. And perfect. And I think that's also one of the great things about the mentors in the program, because probably some of the challenges that other entrepreneurs have had and other women-led businesses are going through, you have people who have kind of passed those stages and are able to give, insight towards that. One of the questions that we have that has come in from Facebook, it says that this is from Mono, and it says, is it available for women educators that want to use technology to teach primary school children?
Yes, if you've got a business model for it, please apply. We'll be excited to look at your application.
Okay. And another one that has just come in, it says, will you guys conduct interviews as part of the shortlisting, or is it simply based on the submissions that come in?
Uh, we understand that we often have to get clarity from businesses after we have looked at the applications. Just reading the applications is not everything. So we will get back to a select number to interview them.
Okay. Another question has just come in. So this is from Mumbi Namwawa. And she says, should the business be registered? And what is the effect of not having a registered business on the success of your application? So can you speak to that a little bit?
What I would say is apply. And if your business model is great, we can still work with you.
All right. And so I actually have also received an interesting question. So if I run a business that is a multi-level marketing company, am I eligible to apply?
Do you own the multi-level marketing company? Are you just a level in the multi-level marketing company, or do you own the multi-level marketing company? We are looking for people who are owners. So people who are owners in the business. Yes.
All right. And then another question has come in here on Zoom. We have Zoe Kuyanda, and it says, regarding the application process, am I still able to make changes to my responses after submitting a completed application? She's been a bit skeptical about finally clicking the button. So
You should be able to still edit the what you've submitted until the 31st when they're final. If you can't, let us know. We will make it able. We will enable it for you to be able to make any edits. So now until the closing date, you are able to make any changes to your application that will help you explain your business better.
all right. And another question that has just come in, what way is one supposed to use technology as a way to conduct their business in order for them to qualify?
Pardon? Can I get that question again?
Okay. I think what this question is looking at is when you say using technology, I think often sometimes people think, okay, maybe, I have to be a female programmer or be writing code. And so, is it as simple as I simply use Excel sheets to, do my payroll, or so yes.
That's a very, very good question. So
From
yes,
Michelle.
we're looking at building new technology based on that then extends your business model. So not how you use Excel, not how you use payroll, not how you use the copier, or not how you buy new laptops for your business, but how you can build new technology. Now, we're not asking you to be the programmer. We are not asking you to be the programmer. We're asking you to have the idea. And then based on that idea, we can work around modeling how that idea should work. And during the program, we'll figure out whether you need a programmer and who else. You need a designer, you need a programmer. You don't need those people on your team. You might have to outsource the development of the new technology. So so the key areas that I would look at is web, mobile. Can you use artificial intelligence? Can you use virtual reality? Can you use think around what you can think around different ways that you can use technologies to drones and other things like that you can use to do that. So, for example, in agriculture, we're seeing amazing things happen with drones being able to assess land and help people to make better decisions in farming. Rwanda, you've got a company that uses drones to deliver live blood towards clinics in front of business. That's a great use of technology to be able to. That's a great use of technology to be able to do that. So the program is, you don't have to be the person that actually does the technology. The question is, have you thought through the idea about how your business can take advantage of technology?
Yes. Awesome. And I've got another question that has come in. This is a good one. It says, so what is the composition in terms of the industry background of the selection panel? Can you speak a bit to that?
Great. That's the panel that we'll be selecting will be involve a team from Bongo Hive who have largely worked with supporting entrepreneurs from various industries over the last 5 years, with a team from Standard Chartered Bank who have also assessed businesses. That's what banks do. So
Yeah.
they assess businesses and see whether they're eligible for funding and whether their business models works. A good degree of so it's not just about the idea. A good degree of the assessment will be based on whether there's a business model there.
Okay, okay. And there's actually a question that has come through a few times. So one of the things is that the unique things about this program is that this is the first time that it's coming to Zambia, but it's been held in Nigeria, the UAE, Bahrain, Kenya, and the US, specifically in New York. And so I'm not sure, maybe if you or Kiembe can speak to this, but previously, what kind of businesses have you seen? Because I think I've seen a few people kind of wonder, okay, I maybe have a baking business and, people, how do I use technology in that? Or so maybe speak a little bit to what kind of business models have previously been seen in the program.
Great.
Yeah.
So over the last, I'll answer. I think, Kembe, would you like to talk from the Standard Chartered point of view?
Sorry, it was ping-ponging on my end. Could you just repeat that question?
Okay, so we've actually had a few questions come in where women who maybe are not in your, traditional tech business have asked, well, we kind of have, read through the Standard Chartered Women in Tech page that this program has been successfully run in Nigeria, Kenya, UAE, Bahrain, the US. And so what kind of business models or what kind of businesses have women brought to Standard Chartered to be transformed through this program?
Okay, that's a really good question, and I always get excited about this. I think if some people got to watch the launch video, they could have heard from one of our alumni in Nigeria. So what she basically does is she's not in technology. Never been in technology. She's actually been in oil and gas. Maybe a lot in the space where Zambia is moving now, where we're all moving to using gas for cooking and whatnot. So in her case, her business is she moved from an oil and gas company and formed her own. And basically she realized that the norm in Nigeria, or the frequent thing that was happening, was people would run out of gas in the middle of the night, right? And where do you go? That is your main cooking spot is stove.
Yeah.
It is she used technology to enhance her delivery. She got an app where people could get notifications. So first, basically, she studied the customer activity. How frequently do specific customers order? When do they order in the month? How much do they order? Right. And then she transformed that to customers having profiles. So they have an app. And on that app, she would notify them. The system would notify them to say, oh, actually, you will be running out of gas on the 30th of January. And through the app, they could actually order their gas, and their gas could also get delivered. So this is not somebody who's in technology. This is just a totally different business that has used technology to enhance their service delivery and to enhance their value chain. So similarly, we have people who are in fashion, where people who are who make hair products, for example.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There are people, So it's quite wide. In Kenya, I wish I put this up out of. It'd be great to get more alumni on here, but we really, really do have women who are in different aspects. Some are in technology, like I think we had someone like that from Bahrain, but it is not the focus to say you must be in technology. It is basically, how can technology grow your business? How can we add a tech aspect? You can tell I could go on about this because as Standard Chartered, uh, we're a very big institution that is driven by technology. We are very passionate about technology. Our own banking systems are highly driven by technology. And we know about taking the risks. We know about stepping into uncharted territory. I mean, right now, we still remain the only bank that you can open your account on your phone end to end, and your card gets delivered to you. So that's how technology has helped us. We're saving on costs. We're enhancing our customer service delivery. We're quicker to respond to people through technology. And that's what we're expecting it to do for traditional businesses. So, we're not saying have a company and it must be, I don't know, set up and you have servers all over your your place. No, I'm saying, what can technology do for your business to make it grow, to expand it, to enhance even a specific aspect about your service delivery is basically what this is going to do. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Thank you, Kembe. I love that. I love that that idea that you've given, especially from the point of view of the bank itself. In that traditionally, people have always known banks to be able to walk into to have a branch, let people get into the branch, and unless people walk into the branch, then that's when you come to them. But here's the bank take into consideration that why people have mobile phones. That people have mobile phones. Why don't they start the process of applying to be able to open an account online using the mobile phone? And once they've been validated, they obviously went through the process of figuring out what that is like. And once that is validated, send them the card and have it delivered to them, and then they can start transacting. The very next period, they can then receive their money in their bank account. They can go to an ATM and withdraw that money. So when we say people think about how it is that you can use technology, that's a very, very good example. Yeah, I love that. Other examples that we've seen in the last year include uh, businesses that engage that have changed the process. For example, so these are examples of people who've changed the process of applying online. We talk about in the process of people. There are a lot of businesses, for example, that people can consider that they are already running. People don't realize that they're already running online businesses. Is there a lot of businesses that make their engagements and advertise themselves on WhatsApp and on and on Facebook? What about taking it to the next step? We now build out a website to be able to make sure that you can list everything that you have, and people can make those orders from you. You've already tested your idea, you've already had it operating, and you already run your numbers. So what's the next level of growth for you being able to do that once you've already figured out what that business is like? And these are things that we're asking people to consider. But it's also an opportunity to look at the what are the things that could then help your customers engage you further. So in the case of the people who are already buying gas, by the entrepreneur finding out when the gas finishes online, she could then sell more gas, because then she could then estimate she could then get to know when their needs are. So what about people who own stores? When they run out of goods, should they go back into Cairo, into the main city, to go and buy stock up again? Or can they go online and make a message to have their places, their stores replenished and filled up again? What about people who need transport, for goods to be carried from one place to another? If you're in logistics, would an online platform for people to be able to order your trucks, to get things goods from one place and take them to another place, be something that actually is helpful? So it really is thinking about, at the moment people have a device in their hands. At the moment people have access to the internet. What would be a new way of customers engaging our business? I think you're on mute, Mwape?
Sorry. So another one of the questions that has come in is furthering the application process. What eligibility criteria will be used for the acceleration program after you've made it into the incubator program?
So if people have made it into the acceleration program, there will be criteria. There will be selection criteria or judging criteria based used to then bring in external experts and external judges to then select the companies that are going to move on to the next stage, and that will be shared with them. Remember, there will be pitch training. So after the first selection is made, there'll be pitch training to help you communicate your business. Then the final selection of 10 will be made to get into the program. When those 10 go through the 12 weeks of the program, they will have to pitch their businesses again to ensure that it's very clear that they have a business model. And remember, when we talk about a business model, the things that we're asking for is, do you know the customer? Can you define the customer that is going to buy from you? Can you define why they want to buy from you? And hopefully that they're going to buy from you more than once. So customers that are going to repeat coming back to you because you've got a product or service that they're going to continuously need. How are you going to deliver that product to them? How will you collect money from them? And how will you deliver the product to them? So these are the things that you basically need to think about when you're putting your business model together. And once you're able to explain those things, what we're going to do during the program is help you to refine that business model. You then have the opportunity to present your business model to a panel of judges that is made up of business experts and other people from the sector that will be able to explain that. When that happens, the top 5 are then picked, and they will receive $10,000 each. And then with that, we will then support them in launching these products into the market.
All right. So I don't know if you can maybe give us just a very brief kind of rundown of what the demo day is going to look like, what kind of activities will be taking place.
Oh, great. So the demo day will be a great opportunity for first and foremost, for the entrepreneurs to showcase what they've been working on, the ideas that they've been working on. And this time we're going to very likely run it online. So it will be an opportunity for the world to come and see what the different businesses have been doing. Then the businesses then get the opportunity to then pitch their ideas towards a set of judges. So we'll have a set of, like I said, we'll have a set of judges. They haven't been selected yet. And we'll have a set of judges that they can then, very much like you have on Dragon's Den, where you sit in front of these investors and you tell them what your business idea is, and these people then have the responsibility of saying that's a business idea that certainly serves a market and has got potential for growth, and that's really up to the entrepreneur to be able to explain that, and once the judges are convinced of that, their decision is to then their responsibility to make the decision and say, this is a business that looks like it's going to grow, therefore give it $10,000 so that it can actually actualize that opportunity. So that's really that's what comes into the demo day.
All right, thank you so much, Simunza, for that. Just going to ask if there are any more questions, a few last questions. The last day to apply is January 31st, but we would advise you guys to make sure you get your applications in on time. So I don't know if there's any more questions. Let me just make sure that we've gone through all of them. Yes, we have. So we are done a little bit early, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for you guys coming online and asking questions and being engaged. Bongo Hive is definitely really, really excited about being able to partner with Standard Chartered on this project that we really, really think is just so relevant, in working with great minds and providing solutions to some of the problems that we see now. I'm just going to take maybe a few final words from Simunza, Kiembe, and then after that, if there are no more questions, we will end the meeting.
Okay.
From my end, I just want to say thank you very much for everyone that came to this session. We really want to support you into seizing this opportunity. And today, you should, if you have any questions, jump in on Facebook, email us, ask us questions around what it is. We really want to support you into getting into them. What we can't tell you is what the answers are, but we can help you. We can help you figure out what the information you might have that fits in with the answer there. And I love entrepreneurs, and I'm really want to meet you and work with you in the program. And I'm grateful to Standard Chartered for shining a light on women in technology. And we do want to support more women building growing businesses.
Thanks, Munza. For me, on behalf of Standard Chartered Bank, obviously, I just want to say a big thank you to Bongo Hive for driving this so far. I think you're doing a fantastic job. And I can't wait for the program to actually start so I can see it in action. What I do want to say to the potential participants is that, ladies, we can actually do it. You can actually do it. It's been done before, so I definitely know that you can do it. But as a bank, this is just our way of, giving back to the markets in which we operate, giving back to the communities in which we operate. Given that it's been a very difficult time for everybody across the world, really, with the pandemic, this is a really good time to jump onto a program like this where you're going to get really substantial support from the Bongo Hive team, from Standard Chartered, from industry experts that not a lot of people get to receive very easily without hearing about it. So my first message to you is, one more time, tell a friend. There's still some time. I hope this has helped people to understand what it's about and how they can go about it. If you're not sure, reach out to the Bongo Hive team. Reach out to Standard Chartered, and we'll lead you to the Bongo Hive team as well, and they'll let you know how to go through it. And finally, just all the best to everybody whose applications we'll be looking at on the 1st of February. Wish you all the very best. And, I do hope that this program is going to succeed as we plan that it will, so that we can come back again and run it again and just change the lives of many Zambians. Thank you so much.
Mape, I have one more. Can I just say one more thing? And this is a word of encouragement to everybody. I was speaking with a friend of mine. She's a lady who works in HR, and she said whenever they put out job applications and they say they have 8 criteria for people to then qualify to get into the job, she said that when observing applications between males and females, now you're not taking this from me, this is from somebody who's a specialist in HR, she had observed that with males, even if they qualified for 3 of the 8 criteria, they'll still apply. They'll take a chance and apply and jump into the opportunity of seeing whether or not they qualify for the program. With women, on the other hand, she said she noticed that they will only apply if they feel they've got 8 of those criteria, like if they've ticked all the boxes. Now that's a very good way to look at it. But what I'm trying to talk about is the other opportunity: is take the chance, seize this opportunity and take the chance. Don't wait until you've ticked all the boxes that are there. In the process of us going through the applications, we'll let you know what could have been. We might be able to let you know what could have been the thing. But this is not the only time that this program is going. We're hoping that this is not the only time that this program is going to run. If you don't qualify to get into the program this time, at least you've learned what you need to do in the next year for the next time we come around. And so take this chance, seize it, put everything that you've got into it. Great.
Thank you, Simunza, so much for those words of inspiration. Kind of ties in with what Kimbe mentioned earlier about risk. And so we're looking forward to all your applications. Just one last comment that has come in, and it's from Zoe, and she says, I've had a very good experience tackling the application, and I really benefited because the application process helped me to gain a theoretical insight in my own startup. Kudos to Standard Chartered and Bongo Hive. So that's really amazing. Not only because some of the questions that you get to ask, cause you to think a lot deeply about your business. So we don't have any more questions. We just want to say thank you guys so much for your time. Make sure that you guys are following us on Facebook. Make sure that you guys are following us on Twitter. We also have a LinkedIn account and an Instagram. If you guys have any more questions, make sure that you guys contact us. So thank you guys so much and have a great afternoon.